Hello again from the depths of Mount Doom. Um, I'm trying to be a little quiet. Everybody here where I am is asleep, and I think I am too. So the other day, I had tweeted out that Gabby Petito was going to end up being a victim of cancel culture. And sure enough, here is USA Today trying to cancel her. Missing white woman syndrome. Indigenous people left to wonder how to qualify for same attention as Gabby Petito. I mean, first of all, like, what? How awful is that? Okay, the conversation is not about you right now. All right. Um, you know, I mean, this is kind of like grandstanding, right? And also, I just want to point out that indigenous was like it's being used in a new way. Indigenous used to be uh, like basically the missing link. Was the way that public schools used to teach it. Your government schools used to teach it that way. As I'm a victim surviving, I'm a survivor of public schools. Let's see here, in the 8 days since between Gabby's family reporter missing when her body was found, three indigenous people, Sterling Prince Red Star, sounds like a energy drink, Marky Shea Williams, and Chloel Buckelk, were reported missing in Montana. Okay. The disproportionately high rates of missing and murdered indigenous people is a nationwide crisis. Oh, jeez, God, man, not everything's a crisis. And experts, I'm an expert. Everybody else is a jabroni. Say Montana is an epicenter. Oh my gosh, okay. Montana. The population of Montana is what? 300,000? We're going to look it up. Population. Boom. 1 million. Okay, so there's 1 million people in 150,000 square miles. So that puts them at. There's only 3 states bigger than Montana. Golly. Excuse me. Yeah, that's right. It's 145,000 square miles, according to this. And then, where did I see the other one? It's 153 or something? That's 145,000 square miles. This one has 147,000 square miles. It's so big, they don't even know how big Montana is. All right? But it borders with Canada. And I hate to tell you this, y'all. People go missing in the woods all the time. It's been missing from Blackfeet Reservation since 2017. I don't understand how qualified this kind of mainstream media coverage. Well, first of all, if you're on a reservation, you're not in America, right? Let's see here. USA Today, New York Times, Washington Post, Fox News, CNN. I like how they add Fox News in with these others. I mean, USA Today is always, they attack Fox News because it's they try to be fair and balanced, as they say, which, I mean, they're not conservative. Let's just agree with that. But it's because they try to be balanced. Everyone attacks them. It's so telling. The nation's major news outlets have all covered her life and dissected her van life videos on social media, produced timelines around her disappearance, analyzed police body cam footage, blah, blah, blah. Amateur sleuths can't get enough of the case. The Gabby Petito hashtag has generated hundreds of millions of marks, blah, blah, blah. The national attention to her case has stirred public outrage, and that's only grown since her body was found Sunday at a campground near Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming. And Laundry Ditch, Florida police, who have searching all week for him, is at a vast and unforgiving wilderness park. I mean, they're acting like this guy is a Rambo. They drew first blood. While Petito's case continues to unfold under the glare of national spotlight, thousands of indigenous people remain without justice. Not everybody gets justice. And then if you get justice, it's for injustice for somebody else. I mean, there's so many things wrong with this, okay? I feel bad. I've been saying the white girl, the Muslim white girl syndrome. I've been saying that for years, okay? Here's my thing. Look at people on TV. They all have blue eyes. If you don't have blue eyes in this country, you don't count. All right. I mean, you're not a national, you're not a TV person. You're not going to be on the screen. You look at like brown eyed people make up like 90% or 80% of the population, we'll say. They make up like 8% of actors. It's so crazy how this whole thing is. Not everything, though, is some like, okay, I have not read this article. I'm just going to assume that they're going to go ahead, turn this around, and start hating on a group, and some other group's fault is why this one group is being held back. And they get missing disproportionately. They don't argue that Petito's case deserves less, but rather that missing indigenous people deserve. I can't even say indigenous people with a straight face. It's like Iceman. Encino Man, wasn't he indigenous? I don't even know. I don't know if they're telling me that she was a heavy runner or if that's her name. In a study that surveyed 71 cities, the Urban Indian Health Institute in 2016, people get paid for this, by the way, found there were 5,712 reported cases of missing or murdered indigenous women and children. Women and girls. The 2016 National Institute of Justice report found that more than 4 in 5 indigenous people had experienced violence in their lifetimes. Were they on a reservation earlier? So they're fighting with themselves. Look, how about why don't we go and look at the profoundly abstract, huge disparity of alcoholism in indigenous people. There's a show, a Canadian show. It was on Netflix. It's like Cops. But it was like every single time they had a call was for a I don't know. Canada's up north, Eskimos. I don't know. Eskimos, indigenous, Indians, whatever the term is of the day. I apologize. I'm not trying to be rude to anybody. Well, anyway, they it was like every other call was for somebody like that was just passed out right there in the middle of the sidewalk or something. Indigenous people in Montana are 4 times more likely to go missing than non-native people, according to State Department. Well, I mean, my gosh, dude, well, that really blows the stereotype of Tonto out of the window, doesn't it? I mean, that's just okay. So they all go missing. They got all these stats. It has nothing to do with Gabby, though. I mean, why her story has everybody, and it crosses everything. Is that it's a girl. I mean, she doesn't even look 22, right? I mean, I thought she was a teenager at first. And she seemed very, very sweet, very humble. She's on this American idea. The whole get your kicks on Route 66. Going across country. I mean, that sounds so exciting and awesome. I mean, we all kind of wish we could have done that. And she's with her high school sweetheart. I mean, that's another, it's John Cougar Mellencamp. It's Jack and Diane. And all of a sudden, the thought is because this should be another thing. Why does the media always paint it out that the dude is responsible for her death? They looked like they were in kind of a rough relationship, a very hands-on type thing. But remember, in the video, she was the domestic abuser. All right. So, from the evidence we have, he could have been defending himself. She fell, and he figured, like, he's screwed. She hit her head on a rock, and now it's his life is over, and he went out and became alligator food. I mean, geez, we'll never know. Maybe we'll never know. It's an incredible story. It's nothing about it feels good. But when you have somebody who just like, oh hey, we can't find Buck Elk. Where did he go? I mean, that doesn't. In Montana, that's something else. Okay, Montana reporters. You have to realize this. All your news comes out of New York City. They're not going. They don't want to go to Montana. Now, Florida, yeah, they'll go down to Florida and check that out. But Montana, no, man. That place is too big. It's too cold. They got Bigfoots out there. They'll eat you. Let's see here. Okay. She's been missing since 2018. Okay, so now you got someone who's been missing for 3 years. We've been in a pandemic since then. I mean, you talk about the world reset. That's a pretty big reset right there. As far as anybody knows, she's a victim of corona, right? I mean, I hate this for everybody, but it's just, it doesn't. Oh, here we go. Real life consequences of white woman syndrome. Missing white woman syndrome, term caused by, God, Gwen, who cares? This is the longest article I've ever seen in my life. As a culture, we rarely identify with white folks and white individuals who are victims. So we see the white person go missing in a few news stories, and then we think, that could be my cousin, or they could be a friend or coworker, my brother or sister. We have different connotations associated with people of color. None of this has to be explicitly stated. This is all just implicit perceptions. You know what? The blonde white chick is notorious for being stupid. All right? I mean, how many blonde jokes there have to be? Everybody's like, oh my gosh, like these women is like, you're like, it amazes some people. You don't think about black women being kidnapped, okay? Or, I mean, when was the last time, if there's a domestic abuse, domestic assault, that's a white person's problem. I mean, that's how you always think about it. I mean, maybe it's all wrong. Maybe the whole system sucks. But you know what? It's the liberal media that created it. I didn't create it. You didn't create it. It's stupid divisivism. And why don't we just figure out that, hey, man, there's a human missing. Why don't we try to be good to each other? Instead, we're going to sit here and we're going to keep trying to divide everybody down to the lowest denominator. And you know what happens? You're stuck with a bunch of mouth-breathing morons in New York trying to tell you what to do. It's all a bunch of bull crap. That's it. I'm out of here. Screw this. I feel sorry for everybody. God bless you. And I hope you all get found and find happiness. But man, oh man, I don't need some cringy ACLU of Montana telling me what to think. You know the rule. If you like it, please subscribe. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm salty today. Salty, salty, salty. I need some chips. I'm so salty I could be on a margarita glass. Other than that, y'all be good to each other. And don't pay attention to these morons. Peace. Hey, go ahead and subscribe. Don't cost you nothing. And help us out. Let's grow this together. Peace.